Doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to come in and talk to you guys about something that's really important when it comes to money. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people only learn this the hard way. So I thought I would give you a little bit of a tip on this so that when you win the lottery or when you become wealthy or when all your investments start kicking in, you can't say nobody told you. If you ever make a lot of money, don't be loud about it. Keep it to yourself. You want to be quiet, largely because when Diddy used to say more money, more problems, what he really meant is that loud money can cause problems. That usually, whenever people find out that you have a lot of money, a lot of things change. People start treating you differently. It puts a lot of pressure on you, etc. So, what I'm going to do is go through in just a few minutes a few reasons why when you win the lottery or when your ship comes in or when your business takes off or when your investments go to the moon, you should be really careful and cautious about who you tell because you're going to find out the hard way that not everybody wants what's best for you. Tell me if you get what I'm saying. Give me a yes if you've ever seen this happen before. All right. So, first reason that you want to be quiet when it comes to your money, especially when you get a lot of it, is that you will become a target. You will become a target of lots of begging. People love to beg people to have money. People love to come in with every sob story, every hey cuz, I'm struggling right now. I know you said you was down for me and you asked me if there's anything you could do for me and all this other stuff, right? And so you're going to get a lot of sob stories. That's going to hit you really hard. I have about 10 billion sob stories, and they always borrow your money. They're always real nice to you, and then they don't pay you back, and you're just always surprised by it. They would call that financial trauma. But actually, we actually have the first ever Black financial therapy department in the Black Business School, largely because a lot of these students have gone through financial trauma. You had things happen to you that shouldn't have happened. Your mama should never have put the light bill in your name when you was 3 years old. Your cousin should have never borrowed money from you and never paid it back. It wasn't right for that man that you were dating to run off with all the money in the bank account, right? And so these financial traumas affect how you view money, how you invest, and your capability when it comes to building wealth. It really has a deep impact on you. Number two, bragging about money, letting people know how much money you have can really damage your relationships. If you ever, it's easy to be cool with people when you're broke. Let me say, when everybody's broke and everybody's at the same level, then it's easy to forge the most amazing friendships. I'm down for you forever, and I got your back, and it don't matter. If I get it, you got it. Wait, all this type of stuff. That's like broke people talk. But then let you get in a situation where you up here and your friends are here it can really damage relationships because jealousy is kind of this thing where jealous people, I don't believe they choose to be jealous. I don't think jealous people are trying to be bad people. I think jealous people are just human. And jealousy will creep into the closest relationship you have. I have seen parents jealous of their children. That's how crazy it is. I have seen husbands jealous of their wives. I have seen best friends jealous of each other. And you never know when it's going to pop up. And so this resentment or maybe a sense of entitlement, like, okay, because you're doing well and because we're close, now that you're in the NBA or the NFL, you're supposed to hook me up. And if you say no to me, that means that, oh, well, you done changed and you don't know, you don't forgot where you came from and blah, 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 blah. So setting those boundaries can be really difficult because a lot of people will start treating you like an ATM and you're going to have boundaries when you get that money. And those boundaries are painful because that can make people say, well, you don't love me. They start to hold the relationship hostage and make you feel like if you don't give them what they want, they're not going to love you anymore. They're not going to be nice to you anymore and that's hard to deal with, right? So the easiest way to deal with that is don't tell nobody when you get this money. Just keep it to yourself or downplay it, and then that way you don't have to have those hard conversations. Personal safety threats can happen. I've seen people roll through the hood. Just got that fresh, NBA contract, and you making 100 million, and you got $100,000 worth of jewelry on your neck, and you going through, you riding through with something nice, and next thing you know, you hear about guys like that getting robbed all the time. Tell me if you've seen this. Tell me if you've seen scenarios where a rapper got robbed in the hood or an NBA player got robbed in the hood. You up here trying to check in with the hood, but the hood is checking what you got. They're checking what you're wearing, and that can easily be cost you your life. I've seen people get killed like that. The next thing that happens when you get a lot of money, if you're loud about it, is you'll become a magnet for a lot of scammers. You'll become literally the target of every con artist, every bad business deal, every stupid little financial scam imaginable. People will come at you with business ideas that are crazy, but they'll say, "Hey, if you just put up 100,000, we can get this thing going," and it just becomes messy. So it's better if you just say my money's locked away, or my money's in a trust, or I don't have access to my money. That protects you. Also, lottery winners actually report a tremendous amount of psychological and emotional stress. Did y'all know that? That a lot of lottery winners find that that pressure of holding that much money is a lot, and they find that they end up having a lot of anxiety, paranoia, depression, and it's crazy, right? You think you win the lottery, you think money buys happiness, right? A lot of people think money buys happiness, and money can't buy happiness, but it can be a nice down payment, but it's really money and peace. Money mixed with peace and boundaries can really buy happiness. Peace, purpose, and boundaries, I would say, right? So if you have peace, boundaries, and you have a purpose for what you're doing with the money, then that's when money can help you accelerate your way to happiness. Money is a vehicle, it is a tool, it is an energy that can take you closer to the place you want to be. So money's nice. I'm not a poor person, and I can tell you, money can make you smile, but it's not the money alone. Remember, money is just, these worthless green pieces of paper. You have to find something deeper inside of you that goes with the money. And what a lot of people can't do is they can't find that depth. They don't have a desire for that. They're focused on the superficial and the shallow, and people like that end up being very depressed. Next thing that can happen if you're loud with money is you become a target of frivolous lawsuits. Will Smith once said that he keeps 8 lawyers on retainer just because people sue him for anything just to see if they can get some of his money. They sue him for anything just so they can see if they can get, him to settle for a couple $1 million. And rappers learn this the hard way because a lot of rappers want to keep it real. So they go in the club and they'll be in there fighting in the club and all that. Next thing you know, they get sued for 10 million by this one, 5 million by that one, 30 million by that one. And then they're fighting all these lawsuits. And the smart ones realize, like, okay, I can't be in the club fighting like I'm still in the hood. I have to protect my wealth. You see, for example, right now, Tyler Perry is facing $250 million lawsuit from a guy that he was hitting on. He was trying to sleep with the guy. And normally, if you broke and you're trying to sleep with somebody, ain't nobody gonna sue you for that, right? A broke man trying to get some ass, and that's okay. That's perfectly sanctioned. But when you're a rich man trying to get some, you're opening yourself up to tremendous legal liability if there's any degree of misinterpretation of the conditions under which you chose to pursue that person that you want to sleep with. So keep that in mind. Sex gets real expensive when you got money in your pocket, and also when people know you have money. What else can happen? Well, if you're famous, if you win the lottery, you can lose your privacy. A lot of times, rich and famous people are very interesting to the media. So things that people may not have normally paid attention to can suddenly become a big deal. I remember one time they put my net worth on one of those celebrity net worth websites. I don't even understand that. I'm not no damn celebrity. Why the hell is my net worth up there? Well, believe me, as soon as that happened, I started getting treated differently. I started seeing people it's like they put me on some sort of Mount Rushmore and started treating me different. Like the thing is, when you're on Mount Rushmore, it's not like people look up at you and they admire you. Some people do that. A lot of people are down there like throwing rocks, right? Right? And I was like, man, this sucks. I don't even flex like that. I don't brag about money. I'll never, I see guys do that shows that's all screenshots of their bank accounts and all that. That's that stuff you do when you're 25, 26 and you're trying to get some ass. I ain't trying to. I'm 54, man. I got a beautiful woman upstairs. That's all I need. So anyway, moving on. Number nine. What else? So the next one is you get a lot of pressure to make very bad financial decisions. So a lot of times, spending big money on luxury items. Rich people are a massive target for consumer spending. So corporations have a whole protocol on how to approach a rich person with that $80,000 Hermes bag and or that exclusive $100,000 club membership. So you get really encouraged to dive into these things because it makes you feel better. It's all emotional. It's all about I get to be in the special club and things like that. Also, they find that when people get a lot of money, this is the next issue with being loud with money or just having a lot of money that you got to look out for, is they find that when people don't have to work anymore, they kind of lose their purpose. They lose their sense of purpose, right? And so this is why the money really can be a challenge. Having money can be a challenge. It can be a big challenge because you get to the point where, okay, now the thing that you were spending most of your time working on is gone. The thing you were spending all your energy trying to deal with is gone. Like most people, did you know? I mean, most people spend more time at work with their boss than they spend with their own kids. Think about, I mean, process this. A lot of people hate. How many of you like would quit your job if you could? Like, give me a yes. If you have a job, how many of you would quit tomorrow if you could walk away? Give me a yes if you could quit. Like, if you could walk away right now, you would. Okay. So imagine if you could. Well, I want you to think about this. The majority of Americans spend more time in their work environment, their toxic work environment, than they spend anywhere else. I mean, that ain't really living, if you ask me. That's crazy that you spend more time in the middle of toxic energy than you spend anywhere else in your life. And then we wonder why everybody's dying of cancer and heart disease and diabetes, why so many people are depressed, have anxiety, depression. I mentioned depression, but things like that, right? It's all connected, right? So you shouldn't be, it's not natural for you to spend more time with your boss than to spend with your kids. That is a product of the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution did that. They convinced all of us, they convinced women, hey, if you want to be a strong woman, kids, factory, right? Don't no woman want to be in a damn factory, but they wanted to be in the factory because we're gonna stick it to the men and go to the factory too. I know a lot of women who are like, man, I don't want to be in the factory. I want the soft life. I don't want pulling levers and lifting engines for Toyota. I want to be home with my family. So ultimately, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you to do what you feel works best. And so what they find though is that, so if you ever get to the point where, and I really hope, I pray, this is my prayer for everybody in here. This is my hope for you. This is my blessing for you. If I could bless you, I would bless you with this. I bless you with the opportunity to experience what it's going to be like one day when you get that business going, when you get that wealth together, when you form that right family situation that's going to get you the income that you want. And you're able to then walk away from that plantation. So, what's going to happen when that occurs? I promise you. Write this down. You're going to remember this. Is suddenly the whole world's going to open up to you. Suddenly the whole world, you're going to say, oh my God, there's so many things happening in life that I was missing because I was at work all day. It reminds me of when I was a little kid and I would get to stay home when I was sick and I would watch TV, right? And I would see all these daytime TV shows that were on that I didn't even know were on TV. I'd be like, oh my God, All in the Family comes on right after the Jeffersons and then Good Times. Like I didn't see all that because I was at work all, I mean, I was at school all day, right? So you're at work all day and you're missing life when you're doing that. So a big incentive to be able to get off the corporate plantation is that it does unlock the rest of your life. And that's a beautiful gift to give to your kids. I'm telling you, please, if you love your kids, give them that gift. Invest for them now. We've talked about that, right? Investing small amounts of stock for your child, every month, same amount of money you spend on your car note. If you did that for your family from the time that baby's young, that child will have plenty of money when they're in their 20s. They'll never have to work for anybody their whole entire life. The math is straightforward. If you're not sure how to do the math, I put together something called the $5 a day plan. If you haven't gotten it yet, pull out your phone, text the word stock on your phone to the number 87948. So text stock to 87948. I promise you, you won't regret it. I'll send you that. I'll send you a bunch of other stuff. I'll tell you stocks that you can select and how to do this. And this will make a big difference for your family. I'm a finance professor, by the way, in case you don't know. That's what my PhD is in. So this stuff is very easy for me. It's like second nature. Shout out to the Ohio State University. That's where I got my PhD. All right, last but not least, a lot of times if you are either loud with money or you have lots of money, one thing you got to watch out for is financial advisors trying to rob you. Financial advisors, not so much robbing you, but exploiting you. So a lot of financial advisors take advantage of the fact that wealthier people, their financial consciousness in certain areas can drop because they're not thinking about that $100 here, $200 there, $500 here or there. So what they'll do is they'll give you contracts, especially if they sense that you're not sure how to sort of look at these things. They'll give you contracts with little fees in there, little fees where they can just take money out here and there. And there was an NBA player who invited me out to speak at an event he was hosting. that was built around building Black wealth in the Black community. And I remember I sat and talked to him, and we were talking at breakfast, and he told me that when he signed with his financial advisor, they put little fees in his contract that they thought he was going to miss. And he said, I know that they thought I was going to miss it because I was a young Black man. But they didn't know that his parents had taught him how to read contracts. His parents had taught him how to be patient, take his time, how to look through things before he signed them. And he caught everything. He said, I'm not paying this, I'm not paying this, I'm not paying this, I'm not paying that. Happens all the time. Another good example, Oprah Winfrey and Bill Cosby used to always say that they never let money leave their bank account without them personally signing that check. They would never let any money go out because Oprah knew that. Oprah was like, no, because little money will be leaking out here and there because you think I'm not looking. Oh, I'm gonna let you know I'm looking. So keep that in mind. When you watch your money more carefully, you're better able to protect it. When you have more money, people will assume that you're not noticing. I had a lady that worked for me one time, and she didn't know that I noticed that she took my credit card and was charging things on my credit card. She thought that I was just some rich guy who didn't pay attention to that stuff. She don't know. I went through my statement, and I was like, why are these charges on here? Like, where did this come from? And I investigated. And I called her and I gave her a chance to confess. I said, look, I got to call the cops. If you don't tell me what's going on, I'm gonna have to call the police on you. And lo and behold, I didn't want to send her to jail or nothing. I mean, I assume that a person that does that, honestly, I know she was a mom, and call me weak for this. I don't know. I feel like a mom would do something like that because the things she bought were for her kids, right? So I saw a desperate mom who needed things for her children, and she didn't feel like there's any other way she could get it done. I still had to let her go, but I didn't press charges. I'm not trying to send no mom to jail, for taking a certain amount of money or whatever. It's wrong, sure, right? But that's not. I don't think that would be appropriate. But anyway, long story short, I remember in that situation, I told my wife, I said, I think that she just thought we weren't paying attention. I think that she thought we could just lose this money and not notice it. And because it was right there on the credit card statement, I was like, why would you do that? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. So I hope you guys have a good night. It was great talking to you. And we do class every morning. If you text that word stock to 87948, I'll send you a link to invite you to class. Text stock to the number 87948. I also have a book called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And we have financial flashcards and workbooks for kids, things like that. We're also doing a lot of stuff with artificial intelligence now. This weekend, we just had an amazing Black AI conference. It's the first Black AI conference I've seen anywhere, right? So we did not to say that other people don't do AI that are Black, though. I know that there are. I think everybody should be. And so we had a lot of people this weekend that got together. We did a Black family conference the week before, and it was all digital. So if you want to get involved with a lot of this stuff, you can go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com, where you can get tools for your family to build your wealth. All right, guys, have a great day. Good night. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time.